Hello, Memoir Nation. Welcome to another episode of Monday Motivation. And you know what? One of my favorite questions to ask authors is, what is your best advice that you've received? And what's your worst advice that you've ever received? And just to go into mine a bit, both of them were at the beginning of my career as a writer. I decided to be a writer very young, when I was 20 or 22. And my friend Jake's father, who's been kind of a mentor to me, he was a writer. And he told me to always have something in the mail. And why this is important, it's not to necessarily have something in submission, although that helps. It's more like it's a metaphor, to be always nourishing your momentum, to always be nourishing your hope. You need momentum and hope to be a writer. Otherwise, you're lost and adrift. So I always make sure to have something, some sense of possibility out there, which oftentimes is about submitting your work. And that's good too, just to have some hope that somebody will read something you've written and they will love it and validate it and want to share it with the world, so that's good. But my worst advice, the worst advice I've received, is maybe more instructive. I find that oftentimes people who are not writers love giving writers advice. I don't know why this is. I don't give doctors advice. I don't give physicists advice. But I actually had a friend of my parents who was a doctor. He was also a reader, but he was kind of worried about me. I think when I first became a writer, he took me off for a little walk. And he told me, here's what I'd do. I would study the top 5 best-selling novels and then do what they're doing. And the reason that was bad advice is because that wasn't the reason I'd become a writer. I'd become a writer because I wanted to express myself, my soul. It was a sacred act. It wasn't a commercial act. I didn't want to produce a widget. I didn't want to produce a product. I wanted to produce a work of art. And I didn't really care about the sales. I didn't really care about the money, even when I was that young, maybe even more so when I was that young. And so very happily, I never followed that advice, although I think that advice kind of rests on the shoulder of every writer throughout their career. But yeah, so here's the recipe. Always nourish a sense of possibility and hope and momentum, and write your story your way. Plenty of people want you to write it their way, but your way is what matters. So hope you take that with you throughout this week and write, and then write, and then write some more. Okay, bye-bye.